Yeah. Hey everyone, this is Todd Medina, my special guest Tanner Medina, and what we're going over today is keeping your chiclets in your dome. In other words, keeping your teeth in your head. So we've got a bunch of different, and we're going to go over them, a bunch of different mouthpieces here. And for any contact sport, you definitely need a mouthpiece. Excuse me. So sparring, training, for sure, fighting in the ring or the cage, you need a mouthpiece. Now there's been a lot of speculation. Floyd has a mouthpiece that, well, what do you think about that? What do you think about the mouthpiece theory?
Like for the different kinds?
Like, do you think you should wear one, not wear one?
I hate wearing one, but I definitely think you should wear one.
Okay. That's a great point. Most every fighter I've worked with, trained with, talked with, whatever, nobody, it's like wearing a cup. No guy likes wearing a cup, and most everybody doesn't like wearing a mouthpiece.
No, I feel like all the jiu-jitsu people like wearing mouthpieces.
Like
straight jiu-jitsu people?
Yeah, like submission guys? Like
yeah,
guys, really?
Like both.
Yeah?
Like they won't go around without wearing a mouthpiece.
Why is that?
I don't know. Like every time like hey, live rules, everyone runs to get their mouthpiece and runs back. In MMA, you have to like force them to put a mouthpiece in.
Now that's really weird. Now I wouldn't know that because the majority of all the training I do is straight MMA. Like we just pretty much fight every day. So, and still nobody wants, like Tanner said, nobody wants to put the things on. So we're going to go over some different scenarios. Yes or no, black or white, absolutely you should have a mouthpiece in. Hockey players too. Like I know a bunch of hockey players, and the majority of all those guys, and I've never asked this, but I should, that the majority of all the hockey players I know are missing a ton of teeth, okay? And I can't say anything because I'm missing teeth too, not from hockey, but from fighting. And not even necessarily fighting in a cage or a ring, but from training for a fight kind of thing. It's just, I've gone into probably a good dozen, maybe more, MMA fights or NHB fights with no mouthpiece. You walk up to the ring or the cage, and the ref would be like, okay, you have your mouthpiece, go do whatever he's got to do. Then you go, you have your mouthpiece in, and I just go, you know? And then he'd be like, okay, you have your cup, tap, tap, cool. And half the time I wouldn't have a cup or a mouthpiece, and they just go, okay, run it. So, but again, the teeth I'm missing, or the teeth that were cracked in my head, were from training, not from fighting. But if you can, like Tanner was just saying, that the jiu-jitsu guys who, when they say, you know, live roll, everybody grabs their mouthpiece and put it in, and I respect that. So out of all the mouthpieces here today, which one do you prefer?
I like this one.
And who makes that?
Mueller Company makes it.
Okay, and you guys is that sold at OTM?
Yes, it is.
And how much is that?
Around $5.
Okay, so for a $5 mouthpiece, you can save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on your grill, on your teeth. So for a $5 investment, and like it's not a sales tactic where people say, don't say sell, say investment. By all means, you know, get one of those things, and then throw it in the hot water. Do it the way you should do it. Okay, kind of thing. Now we'll go back to this. So Floyd has a custom mouthpiece, which most all pro and the majority of amateur MMA fighters or boxers have custom mouthpieces. It's not a big deal. You go to the dentist, or now there's companies out that make these.
Yeah, they're blowing up right now.
Yeah, it's a big deal to have it. So Floyd has one that's $10,000. In and of itself, that mouthpiece is no different than anybody else's mouthpiece, other than he puts $100 bills in it. You know, they cut it up, whatever like that. So that's where that whole thing came to be. The mouthpiece, there's no $10,000 mouthpiece that's that much better than a $300 or $500 mouthpiece. Now you will catch some dentists like charging fighters like way too much. $300 or $500 I personally think is way too much for a mouthpiece. You can get that exact same mouthpiece from, there's, like Tanner said, there's some companies out there right now that make really good mouthpieces that will either come to your gym, or you can go to their place of business and they can make you a custom mouthpiece. Depends who you are. Maybe if you want to spend a little bit more, I mean, they can get it done like in 24 hours. Not that they want to do that, but they can. So don't get caught sleeping and
I don't remember the name of the company, but there's this one that just came out. It's $100. They once you buy it, they ship you a molding tool, You mold your own teeth, you ship it back to them, and then within a week they'll have their custom one shipped back to you. So you didn't have to go in.
And that's money. That's so good. And then you can get your own color, your name on it, whatever you want. But like that's easy. There's no excuse not to have that done, kind of thing. You know, everybody needs a mouthpiece. Like we have. Okay, so for example, I don't know if I've tried this Mueller one. It's $5. It's probably, if not, it's the cheapest mouthpiece you can get. And he's fought. He's undefeated, and so he knows. I mean, he's been around the sport.
I used that exact one for my last fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know that. So his last fight, which was a good fight, they banged, and he took some serious shots. This is what he used.
Yeah.
And the long and the short of it, I had 2 of my guys fight within the past couple months. I took them both down. No, I took one of them down and got a custom mouthpiece, and then we had somebody else come to the gym and make them a custom mouthpiece. So nevertheless, both of them had a custom mouthpiece. Both of them worked really well. If you get, there's one company out there, and I should know, but I don't know off the top of my head, where you can just pop the mouthpiece off with your tongue. Once it's in, you can kind of push the back of it out, and it comes out, but it stays in really solid. There's some, after you get it in, I mean, you really have to, like, get your fingers in there and, like, really pull it out, and it's a pain, you know? So, but it's preference. And you'll find some you can breathe really well in, and some you can't breathe at all. Can you breathe in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like anything.
Okay. So maybe try it. Like, I wouldn't, like, obviously I just found out that he fought in this in his last fight. I don't believe, I know I wouldn't let him fight with this in a pro fight. There's no way it would happen. Amateur fight. If he's getting in the cage, he's got a custom mouthpiece in. Now, with that said, so like 2 weeks ago, I fought a pro boxing match. And then just because of my schedule, I didn't have time to go get my mouthpiece made. Okay, and they were on me like, oh, come get it, and I just didn't have time. So I ended up purchasing one. It wasn't this mouthpiece. It was less than this mouthpiece. I don't know. It was nothing, but I had to have a mouthpiece. So I had one. I popped it in, and I took, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 good solid right hands, and nothing became of anything. But over time, training, I mean, your mouth should always be shut anyway. And like once again, like I fought with no mouthpiece, so just keep your mouth shut when you're training, and bite down, and you'll be okay. But the better mouthpiece you have will definitely benefit you in the long run. Because I had, because I took them out, cracked teeth in my head. I went to the dentist, they took an x-ray, and they came back, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? But it's just from training camps with that one. And I know you can still get a cracked tooth with having a mouthpiece, but it definitely cuts down the injury rate.
I feel for me, like, mouthpieces are more for my tongue.
What do you mean?
Because, like, when I train, I end up cutting my tongue a lot if I don't have a mouthpiece.
Oh, okay. Like it cuts off from your teeth?
Skin, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. So, okay.
Or I get cuts in the cheeks.
Oh, gotcha. That's a good one. Getting that whole cheek thing, that gets old.
Yeah.
Now, here's a good point that Tanner brought up. You don't need a top and a bottom, this big crazy mouthpiece that you would use for a pro boxing match if you are if you were rolling like jiu-jitsu gi, no gi, or whatever, and you put it in. Like, one of these is probably awesome for rolling, yeah?
Yeah.
On that one. So, this is pretty good, I would suggest, on this one. But there's, like, the Shot Doctor is probably one of the more popular ones.
That one's huge right now.
Yeah, they blow through a lot of those. Yeah, there's a lot of Shock Doctor. But Mueller, Shock Doctor, and if you can't, even the custom guys who make them, not only do they make the big ones for like a pro bout, but they make like small training ones too. And again, you can get your name on it, your color, whatever you want. But it's super important, imperative, training, and especially obviously fighting, is to have a mouthpiece. And boil and bite, put this thing in warm water, get your teeth in it, and when you're putting it in, when you're biting down, don't go all the way through the mouthpiece, okay? Just get it down there a little bit and then relax, because you can always go more. Once you put your teeth through the mouthpiece, you can't back it up. If you go too much, it's too much. So you can always go more, you can never go too less. You got any comments on this? Okay. So hopefully this helps somebody. If you have any questions, comments, please let us know. And or if you need help finding a
custom mouthpiece,
yeah, we can get you in touch with some really good people. So if you didn't know,
now you know. Boom.